Hello guys and welcome back to this channel. This is Isaac News. We'll bring you up to speed with good things happening in Nigeria, and I am your host Edikan Obot. So today we want to look at 5G rollout in Nigeria and Nigeria's journey to quality internet service provision. So this amazing one, the 5G spectrum auction has generated about $547 million. $547 million generated just by auctioning 5G. This is how much the telco giant in Nigeria were willing to pay just to have 5G in Nigeria. It shows you how much these guys are making, that they are willing to gain a stronghold early on the fact. Not just anyone. MTN is willing to get more hold and more grip on the Nigerian economy as regards the telecom industry by bidding so much. About $250 million was paid by MTN and $250 million was paid by, I think, NIFEST for 5G spectrum. So MTN officially rolled out 5G in August 2022, in major cities like Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt, I think Kano or Kaduna, some big cities which have a lot of online engagement. Lagos will be one, Abuja will be another one, and some other mega cities and states in Nigeria. So Nigeria, just like many other countries, is seeing a transformation as a result of rising internet penetration. So as far back as 2015, we had just 10% internet penetration in the Nigerian economy. But as of 2022, as of September 2022, we already have about 45 internet penetration. So you have to understand that you have to distinguish between smartphone penetration and internet penetration. Although you may say the two may go hand in hand, but not every smartphone user is necessarily an internet user. Okay, you have to differentiate between mobile phone penetration and smartphone penetration and internet penetration. So as you know that in about 2015, at least personally speaking, from my own experience in 2015, there was this boom in Android phones. A lot of people were trying to own an Android phone to them to their name. Back then, it was a big deal. It was a trendy stuff. Everyone was looking for Android phones. Just newly came into the African market and the Nigerian market. So that would be the reason why there was just 10% internet penetration. And in 2017, as we get to see, 4G was auctioned. Wow! No longer downloading things at 1 megabyte at a very awful speed, but there was a lot of things came with 4G, which we're going to see as we proceed, in the video. But there's a lot that we stand to gain as a continent and as a people as we embrace 5G. So without any further ado, let's get right into today's video. So the telecommunication industry has played a vital role in extending connectivity to practical areas of the country. Over the years, we've seen ourselves move from 1G to 2G to 3G. I'm sure I was not alive. Probably I was alive in the era of 1G. Wow. I wonder what that would have felt like. 1G. Hey! People who lived 50 years ago would be so envious of us right now. We moved to 2G, and at least I had a phone. I had a 2G phone. That was a Nokia C1. Had a 3G phone. Currently have a 4G phone. I'm very hopeful of having a 5G phone. This is really interesting. But as a country, we have evolved and we have moved. So as the whole world, okay, not just us. But the point is that we have been trying to keep pace and to keep track with the evolution, in the telecoms industry. So the 3G network launched in 2007 in Nigeria and ushered in the use of video calls, you could stay in Nigeria and video call someone in America. You know, we began to hear things like 1 gig. I want to buy 1 gig. I want to buy 2 gig. So it also issued in an era of significantly higher use of data and data transfer. It also brought in an increase in speed, the speed of transfer and speed of internet connection. It brought a lot of good things came with 3G. Then 4G hit, boom, and 4G came, like I said earlier. 4G came in 2017, and it did everything faster. Video calls were faster. A lot of our people who were online on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. What am I saying? 4G is what the majority of the world uses right now, or the majority of Africa uses right now. So it's what we're currently using to do all that we do: streaming, gaming, Zoom, online interface, online tutoring, lectures. A lot of things were happening, with the with 4G. A lot of possibilities. In fact, a lot of big tech industries were formed because 4G came into being. And the African continent was, tried and moved a lot, tried to bridge the gap due to access to 4G network. And as we are talking about 5G right now, MTN Nigeria Communications PLC, is one of the first of the two network providers to be awarded the spectrum in Nigeria, and is the first to currently launch 5G, which was launched in August in Nigeria. And the 5G network would definitely change the dynamics of life in Nigeria, as assured us by the telecom giant. So rumor has it that the 5G network is about 50 times faster than the 4G network and has a lower latency of fewer than 5 milliseconds, and enables advanced healthcare and more realistic gaming. So for those who are into gaming, because right now, although I'm not a big fan of the gaming industry, I'm not, to be very honest, but I must admit the fact that gaming right now is a big deal globally. And a lot of Nigerians are into gaming, and they need this internet space to do what they do. And this will bring an opportunity for a boom in the gaming sector, the gaming industry, and in the tech industry as a whole. A major catalyst for growth in Africa will be this 5G, because 5G will give us the same opportunities available to most Europeans. The same opportunity available on the internet world to most Europeans. Most of our internet connections are very poor. If you talk to anyone in Nigeria via Skype, if you do Zoom, or you do any form of internet connection with someone in Nigeria, you would notice that there is a huge difference. There's a lot of break in connection. There's a huge difference. But with 5G, a lot of that gap will be bridged. So right now, there's a limited amount of 5G enabled phones in Nigeria. Limited amount. MTN Nigeria is in talks with companies such as Apple and Techno sorry, not Techno, Apple, Samsung, and Xiaomi, and some other big companies, very favorable brands, in order to begin to make 5G enabled phones for the African market, being that MTN has now auctioned 5G into the African market. So any form of revolution we enjoyed as a people because of 4G, 5G stands to do a lot. Now, currently in Nigeria, we all know that the daily cash withdrawal limit has been reduced to about 50,000 naira a day, and so that will force everyone, even those in the village, will force everyone to try to see how to do things in a more digital way, and less analog. So we are trying to, as a country, we're trying to see how to limit the amount of cash in circulation and encourage a lot of transactions online. This will force most of our online service providers to make it snappy and make it quick. And 5G will provide us an opportunity to transition from a weak and a slowly just help us to transition quickly from the whole cash and to the whole cash dependent economy to a cashless dependent economy, which will be vital for economic growth, because the more the more the less we have to do with cash, the more it affects the economy in a positive way, because we spend money to make cash, to make the notes we use. Okay, spend a lot of money to do that, and we lose a lot of money when naira notes have to be destroyed because they're no longer needed, and we lose a lot of money um when these notes get misplaced and we can no longer find them, or they get torn or damaged, or one thing or the other. And also, um it would just generally encourage a lot of economic activity because we are doing things online. So all our tech giants are going to benefit massively from this reduction in cash and introduction of 5G. So because of the inavailability of 5G phones in Nigeria, MTN has gone ahead to make 5G routers, okay, MTN 5G routers, which will provide network speed, 5G network speed. So you can have network speed. So tests have been done around Nigeria. You can have network speeds at 1,000 megabytes per second or 700 megabytes per second. This is just your normal browsing speed. Okay, normal browsing speed for 4G is between 100 and 200 megabytes per second. But 5G users in Nigeria have already been experiencing things like 1,000 megabytes. I mean, internet speed, not just download speed, 1,000 megabytes per second for just normal browsing. But this has some disadvantage, as it will mean that you're going to spend a lot more on data, because it's like a running tap. Data will just be seeping through and just seeping out. Just you will just on your phone and 1 gig has gone. So I believe this would also help and make our telecommunication companies to begin to review their data plans and look for something more favorable for 5G users. But there's a lot we stand to gain. There's a lot. In fact, we've already gained $547 million from auctioning 5G to just two companies. Every telecom client in Nigeria will have to buy this license. Glo will have to get the license. Airtel will have to get this license at some point, and Nine Mobile will have to get the license at some point. This is just money being paid by these companies to Nigeria to have the license to roll out 5G in the country. So the ICT is set to boom. They're set to experience a boom right now because of the introduction of 5G. So I'm very confident that by the year 2023, next year, which is about 2 days away from today, will all our remaining telecom companies will have rolled out 5G, and it would massively impact the economy. And videos will definitely be made by me, about the benefits that 5G would have brought. I'm talking about just next year that we can almost touch, which is about 2 days away from today. So this is massive. And we applaud the federal government for this. We applaud MTN for spending this money and all those who were involved in making this a reality. And we hope that the Nigerian people will benefit massively from this. It will be used to do good and to grow the economy. So this is where we come to an end today. Thank you for staying with me up until this time. Until we see again, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.